ever come between a man and his meal. I never forgot that either. Most niggas would have to run the streets for years to learn a lesson that profound. It took me 2 seconds. Never get between somebody and their paper. Taking a man's livelihood away from him is akin to killing him.
Welcome back to New Viral Drama, where silence ain't an option when the tea's boiling over. Dave Chappelle just threw gasoline on the fire, and baby, it's burning fast. He straight up exposed Shannon Sharpe's lawsuit as a whole setup. Yup, the one involving Gabrielle Zuniga, the woman claiming Shannon allegedly assaulted her multiple times. Well, Dave's saying she ain't acting alone. Word is she's being bankrolled by some powerful names who've got beef with Shannon, and they're out to bury Club Shay Shay. Here's where it gets crazy. Shannon's podcast been shaking Hollywood to its core, exposing secrets, throwing shade, calling folks out by name, and not everyone's been loving it. But now, the streets are whispering that Shannon himself been playing dirty too. Allegedly, he's been stacking dirt on. Yeah, apparently he records convos behind the scenes and holds that info like leverage. That's wild. But karma don't play favorites, and Dave Chappelle just lit the fuse. He's saying Shannon's been messing with the wrong people for too long, and now they're clapping back hard. Dave even warned him ages ago, you keep exposing celebs like that, they're gonna come for you. And now look, it's not just a podcast anymore. Club Shay Shay started to feel like a full-blown hit list. And let's be real, Hollywood elites don't take kindly to being dragged through the mud, especially not by one of their own. So now the question is, who's Shannon been blackmailing? And more importantly, who's pulling the strings behind this lawsuit? Stay locked in, cause it's getting ugly. So when Cat Williams hit Club Shay Shay last year and dropped that explosive interview, things shifted real fast. That moment wasn't just viral, it was a warning shot, and Dave Chappelle saw it coming. Right after the episode aired, Dave called Shannon out and didn't hold back. He said, he eat the ninjas. He didn't say nothing about these white boys. None of these white boys operate like that. Cat's one of the dopest painters in the game. So why you out here sketching up ugly portraits of your own people? Oof, that hit deep. Dave wasn't done either. He straight up called Shannon out for constantly hurting folks who've already been hurt. He said, I'm a hurt person who never hurt people, but he does it. Dave said Shannon's trying to destroy other black comedians' whole careers and added, if I told my story, it'd break your heart. I lost everything and still kept it to myself. Meanwhile, he's out here pretending to be some truth teller. Dave even questioned the whole code. Tell me what part of the game is messing up another man's bag? What part of the game is telling on your own people? And honestly, he wasn't the only one fed up. Celebs started turning ice cold on Shannon after that. It's one thing to get dragged by fans or blogs, but to get aired out by a fellow celeb on another celeb's show, that's straight betrayal in their world. That Cat Williams interview didn't just ruffle feathers, it flipped the whole table. It set the tone for 2024, and the fallout, it's still shaking the industry right now. I've been in over 40 movies. My specials speak for themselves. I put people on, even Cat, back when I had Cat in the Hat at the Gibson Amphitheater. That's what Cedric the Entertainer had to say when the drama hit his doorstep, and he wasn't mincing words. He called Cat's tough talk corny and said, I'm a grown man. None of this gonna play out how you think. You do you. I'm solid over here. But Cedric wasn't the only one coming with smoke. Kevin Hart jumped in and lit it up on social media. He straight up clowned Cat, saying he belongs in a circus, not a comedy stage. It was brutal, and fans were eating it up. Thing is, Kevin wasn't firing out of nowhere. Cat had already been throwing major shade. He blasted Kevin for allegedly faking his success, claiming the polished image people see is all cap. According to Cat, it's all smoke and mirrors, a whole illusion sold to the public. Cat basically said Kevin's been feeding the world a manufactured persona, not the real deal. And he didn't stop there. He even accused the industry of protecting Kevin while leaving him out in the cold. Now, to be fair, this beef been simmering for years. This ain't some random feud, it's deep-rooted. Cat's been saying he got blackballed for speaking the truth and refusing to bow down to Hollywood's fake rules. And Kevin, he just might be the face of everything Cat's been fighting against. This ain't just personal. It's bigger than comedy now. Now, according to Hollywood's version of the story, Cat didn't get pushed out for being too real, for telling it like it is. He was just too chaotic to work with. Kevin said plain and simple, it was the drama, not the truth-telling that got him shut out. So when Cat popped off again on Club Shay Shay, fans knew it wasn't random. It was straight up payback. But Kevin wasn't playing either. He clapped right back, again, calling Cat a straight up clown who needed to take a seat in the circus tent. But here's the twist. That interview with Shannon and Cat, it backfired bad. Both of them got dragged through the dirt for weeks. The backlash was heavy. Even rapper Ma Hay stepped in, accusing Shannon of being anti-black. He called out how fired up Shannon gets when he's checking black folks, but suddenly goes quiet when it's a white person causing the drama.
Thirdly, you call yourself coming at me, right? You want to be aggressive with me, right? Listen, you showed poise, respect, wherewithal, resolve, compassion, reverence for Skip Bayless. Why are you so aggressive anytime somebody black say something? The man said, put your glasses on, and you put your glasses back on. Don't play with me. Put your glasses back on, Shannon.
That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and things got even messier once Monique showed up on the podcast. Folks were already suspicious after Cat's interview, but Monique came in hot, calling out Tyler Perry and Oprah by name. And just like that, people started piecing it together. Was Shannon running a smear campaign on major black celebs? Was this all some low-key setup to tear down icons one episode at a time? Because from the outside, it was starting to feel like Club Shay Shay wasn't about the culture anymore. It was turning into a hit list. That interview, it confirmed what folks had been whispering for years. Just like Cat Williams, Monique didn't hold nothing back. She came swinging at Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Kevin Hart. She had smoke for all of them.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. It is what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna fucking choke the shit out of you when I see you. You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
And if you thought Cat's words were bold, Monique's truth had the whole room frozen. See, Monique got iced out of Hollywood after she refused to do free promo for Precious. Yup, after putting in the work she was contracted to do, they allegedly wanted her to hustle overseas and do extra press for free. But when she said no, the backlash was instant. Suddenly, the industry doors slammed shut. Let's be real. Getting blackballed in Hollywood ain't just a little hiccup. It's a full-on shutdown. Once power players like Oprah and Tyler Perry flip on you, everybody else falls in line. It's like they hit a switch. And Monique went from Oscar winner to untouchable. People were terrified to even speak her name, scared they'd get caught in the crossfire too. But here's the part that stung the most: Kevin Hart. According to Monique, when the storm hit, Kevin pretended to be the one ally she had left. He told her he was solid, that he had her back, that he'd stand by her while everyone else turned fake. He sold her the image of a ride or die, like he wasn't gonna fold under pressure. And Monique, she believed him. She thought Kevin was different, but then came the twist. After all those promises, he flipped too. Left her out in the cold like the rest of them, proving that even your so-called friends in Hollywood will switch sides the second the pressure gets real. No loyalty, no backbone, just fake love and empty words. Kevin didn't just switch up. He ghosted Monique like she never even existed. And what really crushed her, he didn't even have the guts to say it to her face. He sent other people to cut ties on his behalf, like she wasn't even worth a phone call. But Monique wasn't done. She claimed she's got audio receipts of Kevin throwing her under the bus and begging Tyler Perry behind the scenes just to stay on his good side. Straight up groveling. So it ain't a shock that Club Shay Shay has been rubbing celebs the wrong way lately. Shannon's podcast used to be the spot. Now, it's getting labeled as toxic. Even D.L. Hewley came out blasting the show. He says Shannon's letting his guests run wild with fake narratives and unverified stories just to stir the pot. Hold up, that's just surface level. Behind the scenes, things are sounding way darker. Word is Shannon's allegedly been blackmailing celebs using dirt they spill, during off-camera combos. Yup, the same juicy secrets they think got cut out of the final edit. He allegedly keeps those clips on lock and uses them as leverage when he needs it. People are saying he edits out the wildest confessions, not to protect his guests, but to keep those files tucked away just in case. That's not podcasting. That's a whole power play. And if it's true, Shannon ain't just running interviews. He's running insurance policies on the biggest names in the game. Now listen, this next part, if it's true, it explains everything. The timing of this lawsuit, way too perfect to be random. Just one day before Shannon was expected to lock in a massive deal for his Club Shay Shay podcast, a deal reportedly worth around $100 million, this lawsuit drops out of nowhere? Come on, somebody clearly didn't want that contract going through.
Hey, Kev, you didn't say nothing to Cat Williams when he did a 3-hour interview talking slow yesterday. You didn't put a shot clock on him.
Well, do you entertain the circus or do you watch it, Perk? Which one do you do? What do you do? You watch it. You go, man, look at that lion riding the bike. That's what you say.
Shannon's deal with Colin Cowherd's The Volume Podcast Network had just ended, and the streets were buzzing that he was gearing up for a solo empire move. So if someone was trying to shut it all down, this was the moment to strike. Strategic timing like this ain't just petty, it's surgical. Even Shannon's legal team called it out for what it looked like. In a statement, his lawyer said she knew Mr. Sharpe was about to receive a very lucrative offer, and she used that moment to drop the lawsuit. In my opinion, that's the textbook definition of blackmail. And who's at the center of this legal firestorm? Jane Doe, the woman accusing Shannon of serious misconduct. According to her, Shannon manipulated and controlled her and allegedly assaulted her twice, once in October 2024 and again in January 2025. She says he ignored her repeated pleas to stop. These are heavy allegations, and the public's watching this play out in real time. But with the stakes this high, people can't help but question the intentions behind the case. Was it about justice? Or was it a last-ditch effort to stop Shannon before he leveled up with the biggest podcast bag of his life? Because right now, this feels less like a coincidence and more like a takedown mission.
I also take full responsibility for any and everything that I've done in business, good or bad. My frustration with Cat Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Cat was in that position.
You were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You off promo shoots. You off your promo trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studio stopped.
Why was he a risk?
He chose to take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy. So when you say...
The claims in this lawsuit, they're disturbing and getting darker by the day. Jane Doe says Shannon refused to take no for an answer. Even when she was crying and screaming, she claims he kept pushing. And what's worse, she says she was only 19 years old when they first got involved. Shannon, he was 54. That's a massive age gap, and it has people shocked. To Shannon, it seems age ain't nothing but a number, and that's exactly what's raising red flags. Jane Doe also alleges that Shannon insisted on recording their private moments, sometimes without her even knowing. He told her they were for personal use, but she's now accusing him of sharing those videos with friends, not once, but on multiple occasions. But it gets even messier. Her lawyer says Shannon and his team tried to buy her silence, allegedly offering her a whopping $10 million just so she wouldn't file the lawsuit. And guess what? Shannon's own lawyer confirmed the offer went down. So now the big question is, was he trying to keep things quiet because he's guilty, or was he just desperate to protect his brand from blowing up? Either way, $10 million screams panic, like he knew exactly what this could do to his empire. Oh, and this isn't just some no-name attorney handling the case. Jane Doe, revealed to be Gabriela Zuniga, is being repped by Tony Busby. Yeah, that Tony Busby. Back in early February, Busby said his office reached out to Shannon for a private meeting. Multiple conversations followed, and it led to a full-on mediation, where Shannon was repped by a whole different legal team. That ain't no small case. This is a full-blown high-stakes legal war. The legal showdown between Shannon Sharpe and Jane Doe is escalating fast, and the mediation, It dragged on for over 6 weeks. At the end of it, Shannon reportedly put a massive offer on the table to make it all go away. We're talking $10 million, but Jane Doe wasn't having it. She rejected the money and went full steam ahead with the lawsuit. Her lawyer, Tony Busby, came out swinging too. He said, on one hand, Shannon's team says the case is baseless, but on the other, they confirmed in writing that he offered her $10 million to settle. That's not just hearsay, that's facts. And the wild part, Jane Doe still chose to move forward with litigation, refusing the payout. Now things are getting ugly. Busby says Shannon's team is doing exactly what they expected, trying to discredit Jane Doe and now even coming after him personally. They're trying to dox her, smear her name, and drag me down with her, he said. But we're not backing down. Not now, not ever. Meanwhile, Shannon and his legal team are fighting back hard. They released their own statement and then started leaking private texts that Jane Doe had allegedly sent to Shannon in the past. And these weren't just any texts, they were explicit. In one, she allegedly said, I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while yeah, you get the idea. Shannon's team is clearly trying to flip the narrative, painting Jane Doe as someone who was fully involved and consenting. But for the public, it's only adding more confusion and more questions. Is this a defense strategy or just a messy distraction? Either way, the courtroom battle is about to get vicious. Now the leaked texts between Jane Doe and Shannon, they were wild. In one of them, she allegedly told him he could drop $20,000 per cheek, but only if he put that baby gravy in me. Then came even more graphic messages where she allegedly said, you can do whatever you want to me, and even talked about wanting to marry him. The texts were full of explicit language, fantasy scenarios, and bold statements that had the internet in shock. One line had her saying, that's my daddy. I want you to put a big baby in me. Whether you believe her side or not, these messages lit the internet on fire, and both sides started digging in. Shannon's legal team quickly fired back with a formal statement. They claimed that this lawsuit, filed by Gabriela Zuniga and led by attorney Tony Busby, was nothing more than a calculated shakedown. They accused her of trying to cash in on a big settlement by twisting the narrative. The statement said, Ms. Zuniga presented Mr. Sharpe with a secretly recorded video of an intimate moment. We believe this tape was heavily edited, taken out of context, and manipulated to make a consensual act look like something else entirely. They continued, the evidence is clear. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, fantasy, and explicit language, all requested by Ms. Zuniga herself. She recorded the encounter in secret and used selective edits to distort the truth and make it look non-consensual. Mr. Sharpe's camp is standing firm, calling this a blatant attempt at blackmail. He has completely denied every allegation, especially the serious claim of assault, and says he refuses to be extorted over what he describes as a relationship that, while complicated, was entirely consensual. This case is turning into a full-on media storm, and with both sides leaking receipts, it's only getting wilder by the minute. Shannon says he's standing 10 toes down in the face of all this, claiming he's ready to fight back and clear his name in court. His team says the truth will come out through due process and a verdict based on the facts, not viral headlines. But Jane Doe's lawyer, Tony Busby, is not letting up. Busby responded fast, calling out Shannon's defense strategy. He said that every single text released by Shannon's team, the ones meant to paint Jane Doe as a willing participant, were all sent before the alleged assault even happened. According to him, they were dropped purely to distract the public from the core of Jane Doe's lawsuit. He made it crystal clear, it won't work. Then Busby hit back with his own receipts. In one text exchange, Jane Doe allegedly told Shannon, I cried when you left because I begged you to use protection and not go there, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no, Shannon, and I don't know how to process this.
Well, Club Shay Shay is getting messier and messier. It's almost like Wendy Williams didn't go anywhere. She just got a weight set. And so Monique was on. Every time I see Monique these days, she's on doing some greasy-ass video with her and her daddy complaining about something or working out. I don't know nobody that work out that much and gain weight unless every crunch you do has got Captain in front of it. But apparently she goes on Club Shay Shay and tells the story about how she came on my radio show and I wasn't there at the time. And my co-host Jasmine Sanders played a game that we played all the time with everybody called Would You Rather. She apparently was so offended by that.
Shannon's response? According to the leak, he simply asked if he could call her later. But Busby wasn't done. He dropped audio too. In one clip, a man identified as Shannon could be heard making threats, including allegedly saying he'd choke Gabriella. And in another recording, he reportedly made disturbing comments about a big black guy choking a small white woman. These tapes sparked instant backlash. The internet exploded with reactions, some calling it out as sick, others demanding clarity and accountability. With each side releasing more and more dirt, this case has gone beyond the courtroom. It's now a public battleground, and it's only getting more intense. After that explosive audio dropped, Tony Busby made it loud and clear. The contents of this clip are not playful. They're disturbing, aggressive, and dangerous. According to him, the audio reveals the kind of behavior that pushed Jane Doe to flee Nevada entirely, blocking all contact with Shannon to protect herself. And honestly, after everything we've heard, this case isn't just messy, it's radioactive. The audio, the text, the lawsuit, the blackmail claims. This isn't just about a podcast host anymore. It's about power, reputation, and the truth being fought over in the public eye. But here's the twist. Dave Chappelle might have said the quiet part out loud. If what he's claiming is true, this isn't just a scandal, it's a targeted takedown. Because think about it. Shannon was this close to signing a $100 million deal for Club Shay Shay. That kind of money and reach, it's enough to scare the hell out of the people he's allegedly been exposing. And if someone's trying to stop him, what better way than to hit him with a case this heavy right before the ink dries? But now it's your turn. What do you think is really going on here? Is Shannon being exposed or silenced? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear it all. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe to stay locked into the messiest stories out there, and share this video with someone who needs to hear the full tea. And we'll see you in the next video where the drama never sleeps.